We are on the GamesCom at 2024, now looking at the game Worshippers of Cthulhu, and with me is...
Hello, I'm developer in the Crazy Goat Games, Janina. Hello.
Okay, let's jump into the game. Okay, what is the game about?
So in this game, and I will skip the intro, in the game you are playing as leader of the cult that is trying to awaken Cthulhu, which is an eldritch god. So you are not in any way good guys, you are the bad guys. And mainly you will do this by building your cities, managing your cultists, some sacrifices, some rituals to the eldritch god, and well, like sprawling around the world and trying to wake up the god.
Okay, but you said it's mostly a city builder with some other mini games in it, so it's quite an unusual setting.
Yeah, so mainly you will build the cities and you will interact with the game by building stuff. But throughout you will unlock and discover some ways that you can transfer yourself into this, into the view of the third-person perspectives, to either see your city from the position of being on the level of the ground, or to perform some mini games that are allowing you to control or, well, draw with the blade on the backs of your followers. So yeah. So now I'm building the base buildings in the game. We are playing right now a demo that is more new than the one that we have currently on Steam. I don't know when this video will be released, but we currently have a demo available on the Steam page. So you can download it and play it on yourselves. It's a little bit earlier build, but it's still, I hope it's still entertaining. So I'm building the first buildings, and to construct it, you are required to build the builder's house. So the builders will go around your city and build your buildings for you. And they will sprawl along, go have fun in there.
Okay, you needed different resources to do this. This feels a little bit like Anno, or is it a different system?
Yeah, so the buildings are producing materials, but inside of the buildings you will have to employ your people. And the people, as you will see, they are a limited resource. So they are very valuable because they are your followers, they are your cult members, and they are valuable for you. And you will have to gain them by various ways. For example, you will have to capture some unbelievers, the infidels, and turn them into your cult members by re-education or, well, brainwashing, basically, because we are evil in this game. So yeah, I will build houses, and you will see that this value here is displaying the amount of followers that are homeless. So this is basically your human resource, because the whole city runs on faith. Well, people do things for you and they obey you based on the faith, of course, because we are running a cult. And after we build the houses and our builder goes in there, and you can always just click in here and locate the team. And they will build those houses, and those people that will come here, they will inhabit those houses. And now I just gotten my first follower. If there are not enough people in the city and you have built more houses, those houses will be empty for you.
So for the people out there who do not know Cthulhu and who haven't seen us playing the RPG Cthulhu on our channel before, and I don't want to act like I'm an expert, I also only played a little bit of the RPG. Cthulhu is a horror creation from J.P. Lovecraft, and maybe it's better if you say just a few words about what the background story is.
Yeah, so we are very strongly basing our lore of the game on works of H.P. Lovecraft, and Cthulhu is one of the deities from his work. He's said to be sleeping behind the waves of the ocean in the ancient city Relay, and the game that is set basically above the city of Relay. So in the middle of this island, and we will have multiple chapters in the game. So this is the first map that you will play in. You can see here this giant hole in the middle of the island, and this is the place where we are not saying that directly to the players, but we want them to feel like they can peek a little bit into this endless chasm that we want to imply that the relay is set in. So the Cthulhu is sleeping, so our goal is to wake him up. As a cult leader, we are trying to do this, but we just arrived on this island that has this connection to the city of Relay. But right now we are completely oblivious to what to do next, because we don't know. We know as much as we know. And throughout the game, you will start to discover more and more about what you have to do actually to wake up the god, and how to do it, and how much you will have to do not very nice things in order to do that. Okay, so we are building stuff in here. Okay, so we'll start doing the missions. If I will have to cheat, I will, just to go into some parts. We have, of course, developer cheat consoles that will allow us to go further. So the start of the game, obviously, is to teach people how to play. So it's a little bit slower to ease people into the mechanics. We have a lot of people who are very much a Lovecraftian fans, not very much city builder fans, and we want to accommodate everybody who would like to play and learn throughout. But we are thinking about adding an option to skip the tutorials as well. Okay, so here we see the first part of the event system that we have in the game. So sometimes you will have to make a decision as a cult leader on what to do. And one of those consequences that will have, one of those consequences that can happen to you is that you have a fanaticism level. A lot of people ask us, do we have a sanity level in the game? Because it's very much in line with what to be expected from the Lovecraft's work. But what we are trying to do is to show you try to replicate the fantasy of being on the wrong side of the equation, not the good guys who try to stop Cthulhu, but the guys who want to wake him up. So instead of sanity, that becoming insane wouldn't be so good. For us, fanaticism or becoming more and more fanatic, more and more insane is something that you actually want to do. There are some things that your people don't like at the start of the game, but as you become more and more fanatic, they will be accepting of more and more different weird things that you do. But it won't be easy. You will have to actually try to focus on gaining fanaticism, because it will be leveraged against other things in the game for you to do.
So if people are fanatics, they will... Is there any limit where you say you should not go beyond that because people will not react to you anymore or something like that?
Here you can see what actually will happen after you reach every threshold of being a fanatic. So you note what to expect. So for example, after you reach this threshold, which is called zealotry, please don't mind, this is still early bird build, so we are still balancing it, but more or less in this place. But what you see here, the sacrifices now increase fanaticism instead of decreasing it. So at the start, your people are not very much a fan of you sacrificing one of them. But after a certain threshold, they will be like, yeah, let's go, we are sacrificing, great. But they are always accepting of you killing other people, like in this case. So here we have this first event. So you just arrived on this island and you want to, you want to do some kind of sacrifice to the great, the deep one, from some animal stock and one captive person who is not part of your cult, but just a captive person outside. And you can decide to light the spires in a way to cause a slow and painful burn, so like basically torture him before death. Or you can release the sacrifice from the spires, and usually those choices will go all the way to being very evil. So expect that in the game, because we are going all in into being a cult leader, and cult leaders wouldn't be very kind, especially a cult of Eldritch God.
So it's quite clear that we choose the left option.
Yes, we want to burn them all. Okay, and sometimes you will have multiple pages of the event. So sometimes you will have like this question mark sign, where you don't know what happens after you choose a specific option, or you know what happens. So you will have additional text that is in here. It is for people, for the players to decide, because we know that not everybody likes to read them. But we have a lot of fans who love to read those short stories that we write. And they can engage more and find out what happens after we made a certain choice. Okay, so we just made this sacrifice for the Cthulhu, and we have a reaction from this chasm that leads to the city of Relay. So at the start, and you can see those guys, they were actually doing the burning stuff. So we have the first reaction of something is lurking beneath in here, and we'll have the first revelation from Cthulhu. So basically what will happen in the game, we will be sacrificing and performing rituals, and in turn, Cthulhu will give us dreams. We call it Eldritch Favor. That will expand our knowledge and permission for us to build on his land. So we just go to the first altar, the first point of Eldritch Favor. In here, you can see what is it, and we can unlock the first altar, and it will allow us to. It will allow us to perform a ritual. So we will build it. I will speed it up a little bit.
So basically, the economics parts of gathering resources is for the purpose of increasing our religious things of building like altars and so on, and leveling up towards awakening Cthulhu.
Yeah. So we won't get into that part of the game, but after a time you will discover that the faith will be a crucial part of how you move towards your final goal. So yeah, everything that you do will be connected to gaining faith, and you gain faith by doing various stuff. We really want the players to have a choice in what they want to do. So there will be differences in approaches available to how to fulfill those goals, but it will always end in how much faith you have. So we just met the Herald of Cthulhu. He is actually a part of the race of Migo from the Lovecraftian lore. So some people call him Mothman. I don't think it's proper, but I like that name. But the official name is the Herald. So yeah, so we can perform the first ritual. So here we have multiple effigies that we will have, and I think every one of them should have a different graphic, but every one of them will be unique. So as you perform the ritual, you construct those effigies, and you can make them more robust and more robust, more robust. And at some point, you will be even able to add a lot of your followers to those effigies to make them even better. And after we carve them, we have a little bit of time to carve them. We have another event. We have a lot of those quest prompts, because at the start we try to show you the invitation to the story and introduction to the game. But you can always choose if you want to interact with it now or later and do some other stuff in the game. So it's your choice if you want to interact with it or not. But we have just completed our first ritual, and we will have this cutscene. So we see how the first effigy will be collected and what is lurking into that hole. But next time, and I will try to show you this.
Blessed are we by the magnificent tendrils of our God's liege, but I will have to quell the fear in our faithful, guiding them to all.
But every time after the first time you do the ritual, this cutscene will play in 3D, so you are not disrupted by the in the gameplay, and they will just like erupt from this, and you can be in here and or just watch it. I don't know, it's very cool. Yeah. Okay. So now we have to listen to our people. So our people are not very happy that we basically just produce wood. They would like to eat some things, maybe. So they are not very content with what they have right now. So they are doing a little bit of dangerous stuff. So we will have to build some more buildings and help them to fulfill what they need, basically.
You have voiced all the dialogues in the game?
Yes. So we are working with some very cool actors that voice those characters in the game.
This is the part where we are trying to... I mean, what do we need to do to increase the people's happiness, if we call it... Can we call it happiness?
We call it zeal. So the people who are working, they have, well, the more zeal they have, the more efficient they will be in their work. But there will be multiple factors that come into the effect of how the buildings work. So to increase their zeal, you have to, well, infuse them with the materials that they are required. And we will start by building this clam collector. And we will build the Elder's Temple, but we don't have the wood. I will have to do this one. Okay, so I don't have the specializations that I need, but we will add one guy in here.
I would be thinking now it's about, I don't know, maybe alcohol or something, but probably it's different, right? I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so right now we need to gather a little bit of food and fulfill the spiritual needs. So with the food we are doing the clam collector, and for the spiritual needs we are building the Elder's Temple. But what will happen in the Elder's Temple, which is not available for the player yet, they will be able to assign more people in here, and it will work into increasing the fanaticism over time if you assign people in here. But it will require you to sacrifice basically for able-bodied people to just stay there and pray, so it's your decision if you want to make that sacrifice or not. Okay, I am sorry, OCD, I cannot do like crooked roads.
Is this an endless game, or will it just end when we've managed to awaken Cthulhu?
Yeah, so the game will have 3 chapters that will go around the story arc. On the early access, we are planning to release, I think, 2 of them. But every map will have its goal. So after you fulfill this goal, you will come closer to awakening Cthulhu. And then at the last map, you will awaken him. But there will be also a mode where you can just go in and just play without that much of a story.
Okay, how long do you think it takes to reach the ending once?
It's really tricky question, because if I am doing it very fast, then if I am doing it very fast, then I can do it in like 1.5 hours, but I can do it with my eyes closed. And we have playtesters who spend like 3 hours on the first island. So it's really hard to tell, but it will be approximately 30 to 40 hours to complete everything.
Okay, and do you have anything that makes it more replayable? Like, are there different strategies you can choose to reach your target?
Yes, so after you complete the game, you will see other goals They are revolving around the dream spires that you will have to activate, and inside of the dream spires you will have multiple objectives that you will have to fulfill. And you can choose which objectives or which dream spires, because there will be more than you need to complete in order to progress throughout the game. So during that you will have to choose which one of those objectives you wish to fulfill, and every objective will require you to do something else. And this is another thing that you see in here. It's Cthulhu's Patience, that is not active yet. But basically what Cthulhu's Patience means is that at some point it will activate, and Cthulhu will not be, well, very understanding if we are failing again to fulfill what is required of us in time. But there will be ways to increase that time, of course. So the players will have to figure out how to best complete those tasks that they choose to partake in before the time runs out, basically.
Okay, and I think our time is also running out slowly. Anything we are short of reaching that's still worth showing?
Sorry, again?
Something still that we should still show now before we come to an end?
I don't think so. We have anything that I can just put up, but there are many things in the game, and we will be allowing this demo to be playable by the public in the Game Fest, the demo Steam Fest. So I would encourage people to play it by themselves and check it out.
When are you planning for release?
We are planning to release in approximately 2 months. So yeah.
Okay, then thank you very much for your time. And my final question is maybe publish everything we've just recorded on our channels.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you very much.